Brilliant, keep up the great work. Okay, so now what we're trying to do is we're trying to understand when we're using the phone. Remember, always keep in the back of your mind, the phone, the major purpose of the phone is to make that face-to-face appointment. But in order to do that, you need to understand how you've got to go through the process. So the first most crucial thing, I can't say this enough times, is you need to research. You need to have done enough homework to know exactly what the challenge is the customer is experiencing. Because remember, when you understand the challenge, in other words, the undesirable state, you can speak to transformation. In other words, this is the benefit, the advantage, the unique selling proposition that our product offers. In other words, your current supplier, we know who their current supplier is. We know how our product is better, more efficient, more effective, more cost effective. So we know what the advantage is, and we can connect what that advantage is to exactly what the customer requires. And as I've said a number of times, the phone is not used in isolation. The phone is part of your multi-channel communication strategy, and very often it's the part of the multi-channel communication strategy where you've possibly started connecting using social channels. You've enhanced the message, you've promoted your message using email, for example, and now the conversation has progressed to a stage where you feel, okay, so now when I've warmed, so you've warmed the whole conversation, the customer's well aware of your expertise, they've seen your solution does offer them something that will make in other words, it's a better solution that will provide them an optimized, improved efficiency, improved effectiveness of their team. Maybe there's going to be a cost saving due to efficiencies with less energy consumption, etc. So keep all of those critical factors in mind, because that's what you've got to connect. You need to do that research, understand what the challenge is, and then you need to connect. What does my product do, or how can my product indeed support my customer to transform their business? You've already got the acceptance of expertise. The customer's already going, okay, so I see the value of what you have to offer. Now you're going to use the telephone. The telephone is the conduit to actually earn that face-to-face meeting. Excellent. So when you do this, to enhance the entire process, it's got to be personalized. And I'm going to say this one more time. I think I've said it enough times, but I really need to emphasize this. The reason most digital communication, or should I say the reason the pieces, the digital part of a multi-channel communication strategy often fail, is because people love these automated systems. So they create these huge generic email campaigns. They send them out to a lot of people. There's no tailoring, no focus. It just becomes another part of the noise. So if you want to now stand out from the noise, if you want to pull yourself out of all the noise, like I said, I receive over 300 unsolicited emails every day. I delete most of them. You don't want to be part of the noise. You want to stand out from the noise, and the only way that you can do that is to make sure that your headings on your emails, for example, speak to their exact situation and challenge. When you pick up the phone, you've got to make sure that your message is personalized. It's obviously related to the person, so use the person's name if possible. And secondly, when it's related to a challenge they're experiencing at the moment, or you can show them how your solution will offer them some sort of positive transformation, in other words, put them in a better state, now the person will be interested. So it's got to be personalized, use the person's name, and it's got to be focused and tailored on exactly the circumstances that that person's experiencing, right? You've got to remember that first 5 seconds, it's important. But if you don't catch the person's attention in that first 5 seconds, where they can see there's definitely merit in listening to the next 2 to 3 minutes, very often the person will probably say to you, thank you very much, but not interested. But if you can catch their attention after you've already used social media, you've used email, you've used other electronic media, you've sent them ebooks, e-zines, etc., where you've proved your expertise, when you make that telephone call, it's very warm. They will relate to exactly what you have to say. You want to try to describe your product or service around these characteristics, right? You want to talk. Remember, what you're selling is a product, but what your customers is buying is what the product does for them. In other words, it'll help me optimize my bottom line. It'll save me money. It'll support me with a better solution. So think in terms of what your product does for your customer, not in terms of what it is.